Maintenance is an important word around Congregation B'nai Israel. And not only because at each board meeting where the treasurer's report reliably includes the sentence, building maintenance is over budget as usual. Our magnificent temple is beautiful and it's functional, but it's aging. Like all of us who are over 50, certain parts don't work as well as they once did. Things fall apart. They leak. When I read the prayer, Asher Yatzar, in which we praise God for the intricacy of our human bodies, I have to resist associating it with this building. After praising God who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings, the prayer continues. It is well known that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. We would find a way to worship God even if the torrents of rusty water that cascaded into the office had flooded the sanctuary, but it would have been a challenge. We would have to pray elsewhere if the chillers were wrongly closed and the sanctuary sweltering. We aren't perfectionists, though. I don't know about you, but even when the parts of my body that really need to stay opened or closed do so, bumps and bruises, warts and wrinkles, age spots and aches persist. Same at temple. A little discoloration where there was once a leak that's now been repaired. Carpet that could stand to be replaced but isn't disgraceful. We may leave it. Still, a concept in Judaism calls us to reconsider the beautification of every mitzvah we undertake. Tiferet HaMitzvot means glorification of the mitzvot, of the commandments of Judaism. It's the reason that we have beautiful mantles on our Torah scrolls, the ones we see most of the year, needlework by temple members decades ago, remarkably no worse for the wear a half-century later, as well as the magnificent beaded white mantles that we will place upon our scrolls at Slichot, fitting for the High Holy Days. It's the reason that all the silver on our scrolls, it's the reason for all the silver on our scrolls, and it's also why we have gorgeous silver candlesticks and Kiddush cups, a special Seder plate, and our unique purple etrog holder, among so many precious ritual objects around our temple. The architects who designed this beautiful building, Gene P. Levy and Nolan Blass Jr., both of blessed memory, prioritized beauty. They knew that the congregation's prayers would rise even higher as worshipers would behold the natural beauty outside our sanctuary windows astride our extraordinary ark. They fulfilled the words of Maimonides, who wrote some 1,100 years before this temple was built. It is a mitzvah to designate a special place for the Torah scroll and to honor and glorify it in an extravagant manner. After all, the words that were on the tablets of the covenant are inside. As if to accentuate that, tablets are to be found in all different sizes on our ark doors and on the tapestry behind it. If you stand exactly in the right place, they align like planets in a rare celestial display. If we focus on maintaining our temple's roof, lighting, heating, and air conditioning, then how much more ought we to assure proper maintenance for our Torah scrolls? The beauty of the scrolls themselves ought to match, if not exceed, the magnificence of the ark where they are kept. To that end, every few years, we invite a sofer, a Torah scribe, to come to Little Rock to inspect and repair our scrolls. One such sofer, Yonatan Reches, is with us tonight, having arrived and begun his work this morning, intending to continue through next Thursday. One may fairly ask why Torah scrolls need regular maintenance. The Torah scroll is not just another book. It is written by hand on parchment, that is, on the skin of a kosher animal. In fact, Yonatan's subspecialty is preparing hides for sacred Jewish texts. Ink absorbs into paper, but it sits on top of parchment. That's why we use a yad, a Torah pointer, rather than our fingers to follow our place while reading, lest we smudge a letter. We take numerous steps to keep our Torah scrolls in good condition. We keep the heating and air conditioning running 24/7, 365, not at full blast when we aren't here, but enough to control humidity for the scroll's welfare. Years ago, a scribe explained the importance of wrapping the scroll tightly, which helps to preserve the writing. You might have seen me wrestling with our chagurot, our Torah belts, which were too long to tie them up and make them tighter. Just before last Shabbat, I was honored to wrap new chagurot, shorter ones, around our scrolls, secured with Velcro as recommended rather than metal. These chagurot are dedicated in honor of Louis Crane on the conclusion of his service as our president. There are white ones to match for the High Holy Days. Even with the most careful upkeep, though, things happen, and scrolls need some upkeep from time to time. When Yonatan inspected them this morning, he found the largest one, the one typically in the center of the ark and there tonight, to be in excellent condition. 3 others, including the one we read most often in the library, need modest repairs. There's a smudge that Yonatan says probably comes from a Torah reader's bead of sweat. I am the likely culprit. I am not the one who scotch-taped a rip through the top quarter of one column, though. One of our sanctuary scrolls needs more work. A portion of one column of Torah is particularly damaged. I'm not sure how I had missed it nor how it happened. Yonatan theorizes that perhaps somebody had some water too close to the Torah when they were reading and spilled it. Also not me. Yeah, I bring that big cup everywhere, but there is one place I never take it, which is the bima. When Yonatan completes his work next week, our Torah scrolls will be kosher, fit for reading and appropriate for our veneration, in excellent condition. Maimonides laid out the rules that Yonatan and other scribes observed to prepare a Torah, down to the finest detail. He concludes that section, though, by writing, all of the above matters were mentioned only because this is the most perfect way of performing the mitzvah. Should one, however, alter the structure of a scroll from that mentioned above, or not be precise regarding the placement of the crowns on certain letters, the scroll is acceptable so long as the letters were written as they should be. As much as we want the Torah to be just so, just as we would love for our temple to be as pristine as the day it was dedicated in 1975, perfection is not possible in this world, so it is not our goal. Participation, though, is a goal. On Sunday morning, our religious school students will get to meet Yonatan and observe his work. On Tuesday evening, adults will have the opportunity to help Yonatan write a letter. Maimonides wrote, "It is a positive mitzvah for each and every Jew to write a Torah scroll. If a person writes the scroll by hand, it is considered as if they personally received it on Mount Sinai. If they do not know how to write it themselves, they should have others write it for them. Anyone who checks even a single letter of a Torah scroll is considered as though they had written the entire scroll." Like most of you, I've never had the privilege of writing a letter in a Sefer Torah, a Torah scroll. That will be a crowning moment in my rabbinic service, just as it will be for all who take up the quill, making our Torah all the sweeter. Shabbat Shalom.